Hello, I've got here two Yamaha Clavinova digital pianos, the CLP625 on my right, the CLP635 on my left. If you find yourself trying to decide between them at the minute, this video is for you because I'm going to tell you precisely what the differences are between the two and what it is you might get for your extra 340 odd pounds that the 635 costs you. So if you've been researching already, you've probably realised there are many things that are similar about these two, of course being in the same range. They have the same amount of keys, they have exactly the same key mechanism, they have 3 pedals, they have weighted keys like a real piano, they never need any tuning, you can wear headphones, etc, etc. All the basic things are there, but this video is about what's the difference, what do I get for my extra money, and that's what I'll explain to you now. Have a look at the ePianos website or come and visit our showroom here in Banbury. Delivery is fast and free across the UK. So the first and most obvious difference between the two, you've probably noticed already, is the cabinet design. CLP625, as you can see, has got a much lower front on it. It's quite a conservative design, not designed to take up much space at all. All the buttons are compacted on the left there, again just to make it look neater, but 635 you can see is a little bit more striking. The top is higher on it, it's got this nice presented front, the corners are a little bolder, and the buttons, the controls on the left hand side, much clearer, much easier to navigate your way through as well. It's got the little LCD screen on there, but that's just an aesthetic thing. What's the main thing that it's going to give to you for those extra 340 odd pounds? For me, almost all of that extra money is worth the one bit of technology it's got in here called virtual resonance modelling. Now what does that mean to actual human beings like you and me? Well, what it means is it's more authentic, it's closer to the experience of playing a traditional piano. The 625 does not have that technology. The VRM technology is the cutting edge of piano sampling techniques. Now, if you're new to this experience, a digital piano has no strings in it. There's no hammer hitting any strings. It's the sound that you hear is recorded from a real concert grand piano. Yamaha, of course, have a rich heritage. They've made concert grand pianos, all sorts of pianos, for over a century, so they know what they're talking about. And of course they have at their disposal some of the world's finest pianos to record from. Now, the recording technology itself is what's getting better with every edition, and this virtual resonance modelling, they go into incredible detail to sample the gazillion amounts of variations in the strength that that hammer hits the string and how long the hammer lingers and whether the dampener pedal's on, and the strings next to it, do they vibrate and resonate in harmony with the string that you've played. VRM technology is magic because when you play you can hear, particularly when you've got your foot on the pedal, the strings next to you vibrating. You can almost, if you had your eyes closed, you could almost imagine that there was a 9-foot long wooden cabinet on the end of it as well. They've really done a cracking job with it, and for me personally, that virtual resonance modelling technology is worth almost all the money between the two pianos. So 625 doesn't have it. It does have some nice technology on it. It's older technology, but it's still a nice piano playing experience, but it's really nowhere close to the amount of variation that you can get out of the 635. Not a big thing from day one, but further down the line it'll pay you back many times over. So virtual resonance modelling is the main thing for me between them, but there are some other very important things as well that make the difference between these two. Recording on these pianos as well. As you'd expect on digital pianos, you can record at the touch of a button, but there's quite a large difference between what you can do between these two pianos. 625, you can record one song only, and you can record 2 tracks. So I could record my left hand part, for example, and my right hand part and have it play back. 635 here has a 16 track recording studio in there, so that's 16 layers I can put down there, and I also have 250 songs that I can record on there, so the memory is enormous compared to 625, which is in comparison quite simple. So in very simple terms, when it comes to recording, that's Abbey Road and that one is your Uncle Phil's shed with a tape recorder. It's a mega difference in what you can do. And when you've recorded something and you're happy with it and you want to show the world by putting it online, how you transfer it from the pianos onto a computer differs as well. You can't actually do it with the 625 unless you record it on your phone or something like that. There's no way of transferring the clean audio recording digitally from it onto a computer. On 635 you just put it on a USB stick as a WAV file straight on a computer and you can hear it as nicely as you played it on the piano. So the interface with the computer is much simpler on 635 than it is on 625. Okay, so let's have a listen to them side by side. There are other important differences between these two models. A dedicated auxiliary output exists on the 635 but not on the 625. So if you want to output to larger speakers or into a console for recording, you can do that on 635, but there is no dedicated output on 625. We have this is quite a big thing as well, the speakers in these pianos. There's a big difference there too. On 635 we have two 30 watt amplifiers and two 16 centimeter speakers. 625 only gives us two 20 watt amplifiers with two 10 centimeter speakers. Now, in all honesty here, if you're playing at home, typical home environment, 625 volume wise, you're not going to have a problem with it. You're not going to find you have to run it at full volume. It's always going to be loud enough. That's for sure. But 635, with that extra virtual resonance modelling technology in there, larger speakers and a more powerful amplifier are going to be helpful. And again, you're not going to have to run it at full volume, probably never will run it at full volume, but you will find you can play at the top of the keys, just tinkering it, stroking it, making it howl and whistle with that technology that simulates the cabinet of the piano. If you play subtly and then you go and give it a bit more welly at the bottom end, it growls through the bass speaker a little bit more. So it's giving you back more of what expression that you're putting in. Now that's what the extra speakers do for you. So 625, it's okay for playing at home. It's loud enough to bother the neighbours, that's for sure, but it might not allow you quite to play with the expression that you want to. So quickly, a few things that are similar you've probably found in your own research. They both use this great technology when you're playing with headphones, and this is something that's really come on in the past few years. When you're sat playing with headphones on, rather than just the clean sound from the speakers being projected into your ears, it now uses what they call binaural sampling and stereophonic optimizing. Wonderful names for basically giving you surround sound. When you play a traditional piano, the sound from the right hand side mostly goes in your right hand ear, and it's simulated through that technology when you're playing headphones here. So it's a little bit like a surround sound effect you're getting in your headphones. And it is actually quite nice. I was skeptical when I first tried it, but it really does work. So if you're playing in close proximity to neighbours and you think you are going to use headphones a lot, Yamaha have actually put a bit of thought into this, and it's much appreciated as well for some people, and it's quite a nice effect. Well worth trying if you can get to go and use one. Music rest holders. We've got these plastic music rest holders, so basically for holding your books open. That's on both of them. You've got the lids that slide out on them as well, that you can see here. So that's for keeping the dust off. So many things that are similar. Auto power off, so if you leave them on and you get disturbed to go and do something else, they'll actually turn themselves off after half an hour anyway, which is quite reassuring. They come with a book of music, 50 greats book it's called, 50 pieces of classical music that are recorded in the piano, so you can actually have the piano play them back and follow the music, and you can even take away the left hand or the right hand part and play along. It's quite a nice way of doing things. A few other features that differ, only smallish things, but quite nice extra features to have. Metronomes are in both of these, the traditional tick-tock metronome sounds, but 635 will also give you 20 drum rhythms as well, so it's a nice realistic sound of a drum kit being played for you to practice your timing with, which is a reasonably nice feature. 625 only has the metronome. There is a split function on 635, so your right hand can play one sound, your left hand can play another sound. 625 doesn't have this, but it does have dual on here, which means if I wanted to play, for example, piano and strings across the whole length of the keyboard, I can do that. And they've both got what we call duo mode, which basically gives you the middle section of a keyboard, but one at one end, one at another end. So two people can sit there and play from middle C and around it with just one piano. So quite a nice little feature for two people to practice at once. So if you decide to buy one of these from us here at ePianos, you get a matching bench and you get a set of earphones. Delivery is free across the UK, and of course we're available here on the phone or on email 6 days a week if you need any technical support. We're a small independent shop, only a handful of staff here, but we're passionate about what we do. It would be our pleasure to supply you with a new digital piano, so get in touch today. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.